Sure.
All right, we are good to start.
Fantastic. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Erin Pierce, and I am the director of CC Mellor Library. And we are going to be hosting a series of Meet the Candidate events over the course of the next several weeks, hoping to have representation from council candidates and mayoral candidates and school district candidates from each of the 5 municipalities that we serve. This evening, we are focusing on folks from the Braddock Hills community, and I am joined by 5 different candidates this evening. Just a brief moment to address our setup for the evening. We are going to give each candidate 5 minutes to share their candidate statement, if you will. At which point, after each of our candidates has had a 5 minute period to speak, we are going to open it up for questions. We did do a call out for questions from the public when we publicized the event several weeks ago and did not receive any questions specific to the Braddock Hills neighborhood. But we do ask that if you have anything that you would like to ask of the candidates, that you type it directly into the chat. And Becca is going to be moderating our chat, and she will make sure that those questions get asked. Thank you very much. And with no further ado, let us start with Cassie Schaefer because she's first on my screen.
Sure. So hello. It doesn't look like there are many people other than candidates here at the moment. So I think you all know me, but here's my spiel. So I am running for re-election to my seat on the Braddock Hills Borough Council. I was first elected to fill a 2-year term, left vacant by another member, and then was re-elected for a full 4-year term. So I'm now running for a second 4-year term. Throughout the years that I have been on council, my goals have been essentially to work on 3 things. First of all, to increase transparency and communication, to increase community engagement, and to bring greater resources to the borough. While I think that there's a lot of work left to do on those, I do feel like I have made some improvements in those areas. As far as increasing community engagement, we have done a few community days. We've, our sort of community events, our holiday party has grown in scope vastly since I took that over. We now have community cleanup days. We've got a yard sale day. We do things like that. We're currently working on plans to celebrate our 80th birthday next year. As far as increasing resources, this is where I think what I've been able to do stands out in particular. I spent some time staffing State Rep Salisbury's office, and one of the exciting things about that was learning how to bring some of those resources from the state back to the community. During my time there, I was instrumental in getting us the funding to repave Columbia Avenue. I am now in a different position that allows me to learn more about what resources can come to us through Allegheny County. I am now a staff person to an organization headed by our county council person, DeWitt Walton. I have, through my relationship with him, been able to get us the funding to repave Lower Park Avenue, as well as some other funding projects around the borough. So I'm proud that I had a hand in those things happening. I certainly cannot take all the credit for it, but I'm proud of those things. There's still a lot of work to be done, and I want to keep working on it, and that's why I want you all to vote for me. Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you, Cassie. Jacqueline Kunick.
Oh, okay. My name is Jacqueline Kunick. I'm running for the first time. I'm a Braddock Hills resident. My husband was born and has lived here all 71 of his years. So I've been in the community, and I decided it was time for me to step into the community, into the council to help the community itself out. The things that I see when I was campaigning was that there are a lot of different issues that all the community people have, the residents have. Some of them can be addressed quietly, some are larger. Like Cassie said, we have streets to maintain, and now we have a wildlife issue. And those are things that I feel like, having done customer service in the past, that I can probably relate well to people and be able to get these things processed and done. I know it takes a lot to get it done. And like Cassie said, it's a handful of people that do it. I'd like to see bringing more business into the community. That's something that I see is it's getting kind of quiet. There are some lands too. There's some places that, like the one building that we'd like to maybe see if I could help to push it. I'm willing and excited to put myself forward, that I'm new at this, so I have quite a bit to learn. I don't have as much as what Cassie would have as a background, but in the next 5 years, I'd like to develop a much better network for the community, for the residents, just something that's a little more than just Facebook. Or a lot of older people don't go on Facebook, so it seems a little bit harder for them. So my goal would be to connect the community. I want it more connectivity for the community so that they can understand what's going on, where it's going on, more transparency on the council as they process through everything that they do. I go to the meetings, and they I always wonder what was done before. So my goal would be to let the people know we did that. We are now moving on. And I would like to see more community functions. We have some functions, but I'd like to see like a garden club. We have a lot of people in the borough that have beautiful gardens, even a farmer's market, things like that, just to boost the community itself and make it more of a connectivity with all the residents. And so that's why I'd like you to vote for me.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Next up, we have Angela Hood.
Yeah. Hi. Can everybody hear me?
Hi.
Hi. Good. Okay. Awesome. My name is Angela Hood. Most people call me Angie, so you're free to call me Angie as well. What really drove me to run for council, and I'm a total novice at this. I've never run for political office or even for student council when I was in high school or college. But going to council meetings, I was really kind of I don't want to say disappointed, but I felt like we could do more to go after grants. Cassie definitely knows more about that than I do, but I feel like maybe I can bring some technical writing experience and assist the borough manager with some grant writing to improve borough infrastructure. I know a lot of our roads are in pretty bad shape. I would also really like, and I realize that this is a long process and there are many steps, but I would love to make our borough safer and more friendly for pedestrians and cyclists. I would also like to continue to advocate for our bus route, the P68. I know the PRT folks have been at some borough council meetings talking about how there might be cuts to that route. There's, state funding did come through for PRT recently. So, but I just want to continue to advocate for public transit in our borough. And I second Jackie on the garden club. I'm kind of a beginning gardener, but I do have a pollinator garden of native plants in my yard. And I would love to kind of expand that to maybe other parts of the borough that might have like blighted property or just areas that are undeveloped that we could bring to life with native pollinators like bees and butterflies. So that's really my spiel. And I just respectfully ask for everybody's vote.
Wonderful. Thank you, Angela. Next, we are going to go to Cynthia Wallace.
Good evening. I'm Cynthia Wallace. Don't know most of you, some I do, but I am a 21-year resident of Forest Hills, and so I'm running for school director. And so my background is I was an elementary school teacher, a preschool teacher, a principal for 17 years, most recently in the Pittsburgh Public Schools, and just really still believe that education is a child's best bet for a better future. And I'm just concerned about the condition of our schools. I think Woodland Hills has amazing potential, but would like to see us focus on academics. I'd like to see us focus on, college readiness. I'd like to see us focus on things that will prepare the children for the future. And so, again, I think my passion for this really comes from my experience as an educator and just knowing what a good quality education can do. And this just felt like the right time for me. I'm no longer working formally in education. I am a nonprofit executive director of a faith-based nonprofit in Homewood, and so do a lot of work there that is education adjacent. But again, just feel like we deserve to have great schools for all of the children in our area, in our district. And so just want to do what I can do to make that happen. And so asking for all of your votes.
Thank you, Cynthia. Karen Lyons.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I know some of you know me, and I'm, in alignment with Dr. Wallace, and I'm currently on the board. And I talked to Aaron, and I said I didn't know if I should take up the space because I'm already seated on the board, but I still think it's important for you all to know where I'm coming from as a current school board member. Um, I also work in a nonprofit for education and environmental justice and economic justice. And all of these tie into what we need to do for our school district. I sit on this board. I have worked to accomplish several gains that we have achieved in Woodland Hills, and that is the Edgewood Project. We did get that taken care of, and also cell phone removal. I think I fought hard for that because education is important. Education is necessary for our children, and distractions we can do without. And I felt that that was one of the biggest distractions. Being that the school district is made up of 12 regions, these regions are different in many ways. Um, our school population, the student population, is about 82% Black students and 92% white teachers. We have to balance that out and making sure that the teachers, which I have found are very respectable of our students, the removal of the cell phone has allowed for some very positive changes in our school district, and I welcome any insight, any information that will continue us to go down or achieve the trajectory that we're on to make several improvements in our school district. And I don't know, one of the things I'm most happy about is that at the last graduation, the previous graduation, we had 5 empty seats, and those were empty seats of students who lost their lives suddenly due to gun violence. This year, we had zero. That meant that were reducing the amount of issues that happen in our district. And, we welcomed a new superintendent who is learning alongside the board and learning alongside the administration. And we're working to achieve higher test scores. And as Dr. Wallace stated, we need to get them ready for post high school, and that means career ready. And so I'm a big supporter of the VEX program that I'm certain that many of you have heard of. And it is a excellent program. I work alongside Mr. Jason McKenna, who is the consultant for the program, and Tina Dietrich. She is the administrator who works diligently with the students and the teachers to make certain that all students have their hands in this program. And it not only is just a robotics program, but it is helping and achieve soft skills such as teamwork, communication skills. He just did a presentation about 2 weeks ago, and there were a few students there that demonstrated all that they have learned. This is including writing skills. organization skills. These are all very soft skills that are necessary for these students to move beyond high school. And this was a sixth grader and a seventh grader. And that just means that they have so much more room to grow. And Woodland Hills is demonstrating that every single day. So as I have ran, I've met with many community members. I try to come to the borough meetings and to hear what's going on in the borough. And I live on Ridge Road, and we finally, Cassidy, thank you. The street is finally fixed on 21 Ridge Road. Finally. I mean, it took almost a year, but it is fixed, and I thank you for that. So like I said, I work for a nonprofit. I'm in education. We go to Harrisburg. We go before the representatives there to make sure our voice is heard. About 2 years ago, we took a busload of students to Harrisburg. For some of these kids, that was the first time they were outside of their community. It's important that from Churchill down to Braddock, from Swissville over to Turtle Creek to East Pitts, we have to make sure that we operate as one. And that means that all voices must be heard. We must respect each other. And I feel my integrity, my grandsons in Edgewood, I would not waver at any point to be on that school board if I didn't believe in what our potential is as a Woodland Hills School Board director. So that's who I am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate you. I believe we have one more candidate who had asked to speak tonight. Jack Brown. Jack, are you there? All right, so I guess no Jack Brown. I do see him listed in the meeting attendees, so I'm not sure what's going on, but it sounds like we do not have any questions that have been submitted as of yet. So I think at this moment, I'm going to thank you all for your time. We did record this meeting. We are going to make sure that there is access to it for the Braddock Hills residents on our website. That might take us a couple of days. Sometimes downloading stuff is a bit of a process. So it might not be available tomorrow or the next day, but we will send out a link to the candidates once it is available so that you guys can go ahead and share in your networks as well. And again, thank you all very much for being here this evening. I appreciate all your time.
Thank you.
Hey, Aaron, I just noticed that Jack unmuted himself while you were talking. I'm wondering if he has joined us now.
Jack, are you there?
No.
No, okay.
Aaron, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So someone this is new. And so they text me and they said, are you going to be at all of the forums? Is that possible if there are ones that I was planning on this one and Forest Hills, but if there are other ones that I want to join, do I need to re-register? How would I do that?
So, I mean, our intent, the way we set it up was really so that the residents would go one place to see folks.
Okay.
So I always get confused about how exactly the zones for the school district work, but I would say that anything that is for somebody who has the opportunity to vote for you, you're welcome to join us for.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely, yep. Thank you guys very much. Anybody else?
No, we're good.
All right.
Great. Good luck to all of you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.